Good, good. We can hear you now. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Still working on everything in here for just a minute, but
no problem. While we wait on Matt to get adjusted a bit, just friendly reminder, please feel free to raise your hand within the Zoom platform or send us a chat in the chat box, or you may text my cell phone if you're having trouble getting connected with us. All right, you look great. We will go ahead and roll with questions, and we're going to take our first question from Bob Pockris. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Matt, I want to say 4 top 10s or so in your last 7 races last year. Just, are you able to build on that momentum, or it being months ago, can you not?
Yeah, 100%. A good question, Bob. I've talked about that a lot lately because, you know, last year with COVID and everything and no practice and all the variables that we had to overcome, being a new team working together, it felt like the last half of the season, especially the last third of the season, is where all of a sudden it really clicked for us as a team. And that's why you saw, you know, us clicking off top 10s consistently, running up front, competing for wins, because I felt like we were getting where we needed to be as a team. And then, yeah, that 100%, that momentum is, you know, I feel confident it's going to carry directly over into the season just because we have all that time together. We have all those notes together. And that's where it was really coming together. So I've been pretty pumped about this season because of that. Exactly.
And I also want to ask, you've driven for some small teams before, and I'm curious, just as far as attitude towards safety, were there ever times where you looked at something, you're like, man, I really need this changed for my safety, and what was the reaction?
No, you know, I've always felt really good, even driving for small teams when I was like at Go Fast and BK. I always felt really good about my safety in the race cars. So, you know, I think NASCAR's done such a good job at that to where, you know, it may sound silly, but I feel safer sitting in my race car going 200 miles an hour than I do driving my street car down the road. You know, with other people on the racetrack, the cars have just gotten so, you know, so safe nowadays. I feel very good about it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Dustin Albino. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, Matt, you obviously always want to win, but are you entering this year feeling as though you have to win?
I don't know. That's a tough question to answer, you know, because I try to focus on executing to the best of our ability as a team, which we were doing finally toward the end, you know, the last third of last season, last half, last third, whatever you want to call it, of last season. So that's my main focus, is making the most of our race cars and executing. As far as winning, I think we, you know, we are ready to win now would be the best way that I could answer your question. We are ready as a team. The first bit of last year, I don't think we were ready to win because we had a lot to learn. We had a lot to learn about each other, and man, these damn phones won't stop ringing. But we had a lot to learn as a team, and so we weren't until it finally clicked, like I was talking about, and then I felt like we were ready. But you know, all on top of you know, doing everything perfect, things have to fall in your favor and fall properly, and you have to have good luck on your side to close one of these things out. You know, the best car doesn't always win, so I think we are ready to put ourselves in position consistently to win, and I think that's how it's going to come for us. And I feel like this year is definitely our year, if that answers your question.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Dustin.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Jim Utter. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Matt, this kind of goes back to Dustin's question a little bit. You obviously come into this year with uncertainty about your future, but is it sort of offset by the fact that you have the opportunity this season to compete with a team that you can contend for wins? And as you talked about just a few minutes ago, not only that, but you feel like you're probably will be in a better position starting this year than you were last year.
Yeah, 100%. I don't, it may sound crazy, but this is the most comfortable I've ever felt and the best yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say comfortable, because you're always, getting everything you can get, and you have to work your butt off. And you got to always be providing results. So I'd say I feel the best about it because I have such a good team behind me, and especially because we have all that time last year together where we were really rocking and rolling last bit of last season. So going in this year, even with the uncertainty, you can call it, about 2022, I feel the best I've ever felt in my career going into this year, because knowing that we have all this time together. Man, I swear I'm cursed with these phones. Hang on. This is pissing me off. I'm taking them off the hook.
How many calls are we up to now?
Dude, freaking unreal.
You're a popular guy.
I came over to my parents' house to do this because I don't have the room in my house. It was an easier setting, but I didn't realize their phones go off every 4 seconds. So anyways, answering your question, I feel the best that I've felt in my career about this season, even with not knowing my plans for next year, because this is all I can ask for, is to have the seat time we had last year together, to have the speed, have the equipment behind me, all the things that are lined up for success for this year. And if we go out there, we win, run up front consistently, compete in the playoffs, hardcore, all the things I know that we are 100% capable of doing this year more than ever. The rest will take care of itself.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Alex with the Charlotte Observer. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Matt. This is backtracking a little bit, but obviously there was, a lot of uncertainty that kind of came down to the wire on your contract option last year. And I'm curious if there was any sense from the team about what sort of that determining factor was to keep you on for this year.
I think there's just a lot of different people that go into the equation, of driving the 21 car. So, not only do you have the Woods, but it's not ultimately completely their decision. We have, a lot of great sponsors. We have Motorcraft and Quick Clean, and we have Menards and all their vendor partners. Then we have our alliance with Team Penske, and then our relationship with Ford, which is obviously, everyone knows how great the relationship is between the Wood brothers and Ford. So basically what I'm getting at is all of those people have to be on the same page, and knowing a plan for the future. And also, with Ford and Team Penske having Austin Cindric in their lineup, how does this work for everybody is basically what all of them were trying to work on. And they knew and understood that we were just getting rolling the last bit of, the second half of last year. So they didn't want to just sweep the rug out from underneath us, especially when we made our playoffs, the playoffs, when I felt like we were just barely even getting going, barely scratched the surface. So answering your question, a lot of people involved in the decision making, and that's why this kind of was the best fit for everybody, and kind of worked out for everyone moving forward.
And then, have talks already started to figure out where your next home is going to be? And does that, change how you're approaching this season at all, knowing there's sort of this expiration date?
Oh man, my whole career's had expiration dates. I've thought it was over 1,000 times, so don't even faze me. Pretty mentally tough at this point. So no, but there hasn't been, honestly, there hasn't been any talks. I haven't even hardly thought about 2022, just because my whole focus is on 2021 and driving the 21 car. Clearly it's a sign that it's our year. It's 21. So no, that's been my 100% my main focus, just knowing that all we need to do is go out there and kick ass and perform, and the future will take care of itself. So I haven't had any talks with anybody moving forward, but I'm still under contract with the Wood brothers and with Team Penske as well. So there'll be I think it'll all just play out later in the season when it comes to, I don't know, July, August, somewhere in that area.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Kelly Crandall. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, Matt. Being in the Team Penske camp, so to speak, last year, in what ways does being around drivers, former champions like Brad and Joey, in what ways have they made you better being, again, having that alliance?
That's a good question. I was just talking about this yesterday. I spent some time with, the whole Team Penske group of drivers just recently. And, every time I'm around them, whether it's in a competitive setting or even on personal time when we all went out to dinner together or whatever it is, uh, I always come away just so blown away by how great of leaders all of them are. And not only that, but how positive of an environment that it is. All you guys know, you interact with a lot of different, all the different drivers in the garage, and they are all so positive, don't have any negativity in them whatsoever. They're always looking at how we as a group can be the best we can be great leaders for our team, and not negative and not whiners or anything like that. They all, and myself included, appreciate our jobs so much and what we do. So that attitude carries over to the entire organization. When you have that as, your driver setting a great example, it affects the entire organization at Team Penske and Wood Brothers with us having that alliance. So it's really an incredible place. And you guys probably see, how respectful all of the Team Penske drivers are. I hope you like me too. I feel like I'm not too bad of a guy, but no, it's great to have those folks to lean on and to go to for advice and to continue to want to get better. And we all lean on each other.
So even though there's all these restrictions and things, especially when it comes to the racetrack, do you still feel like you get to spend that needed personal time with them to get stuff from them?
Yeah. I think, even if it's just simple stuff, like we're all in a group text together, all of us drivers, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, Joey, Brad, myself. And even some of it's just lighthearted. We were playing a card game. We were playing Rummy, together. And even if it's just talking about that stuff and laughing, we have that kind of a great, relationship with each other. To where even if it's not in person, we're so comfortable with each other that a text or a phone call is no big deal for any questions I've had. And for coming into this camp, the Wood Brothers camp and our alliance with Team Penske, it's been great to be so comfortable to be able to lean on them to make sure that I feel like I'm doing everything the best of my ability coming into this camp and, doing the best I can for our team.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Dustin Long. Go ahead, Dustin.
Thank you. Matt, I'm curious about, what this opportunity this year with the Daytona you look at. Normally, the clashes serve as a good prelude for speed weeks, but now it's on the road course. Now this is your first year, getting an opportunity to be in it this year. Do you wish this was, is this the wrong year to be in it in the sense of, preparing for the Daytona 500, or still a great opportunity because you've got the road course after that?
Yeah, I still look at it as a great opportunity and actually probably the best opportunity this way, because I felt like our road course program last year was where we needed the most improvement. That was probably our weakest area last year. Not that it was terrible, it just, needed some work. So I'm actually glad that the Clash is on the Daytona road course, because that was probably one of our weakest races of the year. But we know the things that we need to work on. So I feel still very good about our chances when we go there here next week. So I'm glad it's on the road course. So then we have basically a race to evaluate what gains that we've made and how to continue to get better at those places, because, you guys saw, I'm sure, that our speed on the short tracks, on the intermediates, those places were excellent, especially the last bit of the year. I mean, we were really flying on those places. So glad we get an extra opportunity at the Clash to go out there and try and see what we've gained on and go try and win.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dustin.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Mark Garrow, PRN.
Go ahead, Mark. Another phone call. How about that? What are we up to now?
That's 7, I think.
Yeah, there we go.
For those that are keeping score at home,
I'm calling my parents and putting in a complaint after I leave that I'm using their office because I don't have an office at home, and I didn't realize it came with nonstop noise. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
I asked this question to Austin Cindric just a few minutes ago. Given the situation that, you know what's going to happen at the end of the year, and you already know the guy that's kind of moving into your place, is the relationship between you guys weird at all? He says it's not. I mean, how do you feel? Because from, people outside looking in, that might feel, a little strange.
No, not at all. Actually, Austin's a great friend of mine. I mean, shoot, we text, Snapchat, literally Snapchat each other every single day. So if that explains to you our level of friendship, so we get along excellent. I love hanging out with Austin, and it's not weird at all. It's this sport is a business, and everyone has the same goals. Austin grew up his whole life and wanted to be a winner in racing and in NASCAR. And he's doing everything he can to perform and accomplish those goals. I have the same goals to be successful and win races and championships and everything, and be around this sport for a very long time, which, I know that I'm, going to be here for a long time. I'm confident, and especially with the opportunities I've been given. So no, it's not awkward at all. It's just part of the business, and things work out the way that they're supposed to. And there will be, I think there's going to be great opportunities for me in the future, and I'm just pumped about this year. I've been through so much to where I'm just super pumped to be driving the 21, and with our seat time we had last year and experience and all the momentum we have to go out there, have the opportunities to go win and kick butt this year. That's all that I need, and the future will take care of itself. So nothing weird between me and Austin. He's a great kid.
You said a moment ago that, if you win or you run up front, things will take care of themselves as far as your future is concerned. When you're in that position to win, will you have to be careful not to let the overall picture weigh in and create so much pressure for you at that particular moment, knowing what's riding potentially on it?
I think going back to kind of a little bit of what I said earlier is my whole, man, if people even knew, I think people understand a little bit of my path to get here and the struggles and, oh man, the pressure and everything that I've overcome. I mean this in a humble way. It's humbled me to an extreme that I couldn't possibly explain, but it's also made me so mentally tough, and I'm thankful for that, because it's made me who I am today, to where I don't even think about that type of stuff or the pressure. I more look at it as great opportunity, and I would have done anything my whole career to be sitting in this position where I'm really establishing myself in the Cup Series, driving the 21. We have all this momentum to go out there and have what I feel like will be the best year of my career by far. So no, to answer your question, I'm pretty mentally tough at this point, and I'm thankful for that. And it doesn't even pop up in my brain. I'm just excited and focused on the competition side and what the opportunity we have this year to go kick some butt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Jesse Morrison with Arizona PBS. Go ahead.
Hey, Matt. I just wanted to know, I know you guys are supported by Team Penske, but still a pretty small team. I just wanted to know if, you think that the no qualifying last year might have helped you guys, have a pretty successful year, since, you didn't have, the bigger teams didn't get the chance to go and, have their qualifying and practice and stuff that they normally do.
No, actually, I think on the flip side, it actually hurt us more than most, because of us being, me and Greg Irwin, our engineers and our team being new to each other. The things that we would have normally learned in practice and maybe qualifying in some instances, but mainly that we would have learned in practice, like, oh, Matt likes, these shocks at these places and this type of feel. Matt likes his cars to be a little, tighter, or this or that. We're learning them in the race to where you really can't change it. And then you're learning it by trial and error in races versus in practice. So that's exactly where I felt like it took us a little bit to get going, is because we had that stripped of us that valuable time of practicing, figuring each other out, what I need in the race car, how I need to best communicate with my guys, all that. We're doing it cold turkey in the race. So, and we have, although driving the 21 car and for the Wood brothers and being, kind of a standalone team, we have such, oh, there's another one, big shocker. But we have such excellent support, from Ford and from Team Penske, that our equipment is great. Our race cars are super fast, and driving the Fords with Roush Yates power. I mean, we've got it all. So I'm just glad that we kind of got that trial and error mostly out of the way, to where we feel really confident about, our setups and our communication and all that momentum we have going into this year.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Jake with Autosport. Go ahead, Jake.
Hi, Matt. Just following up from question earlier about your future and when you'd like it to be settled. I think you said July, August. Is that realistically the latest date that you would like to know where you'll be driving next year? And a quick follow up on that: do you think that if you were to win a race this year, that would be how much weight would that put behind you in negotiations with teams for 2022?
Yeah, man, winning takes care of it all. That's the best. That's the best goal. So that's goal number one. Yeah, I think, I think those talks and all that stuff starts popping up around, around summertime. Most people have, deadlines in their contracts by, except I think mine is, oh goodness, sorry. I think mine is like, gosh, I gotta look. I think it's like September 1st. On the, I've, multiple contracts. So with Team Penske and with the Wood brothers, but yeah, so probably around kind of that late summer is when the discussions, or you hope to kind of have an idea of what's going on. And it's just, you got to be willing to kind of, I don't know what the right word would be, but to just go with it and let it all happen as it's supposed to. You can't control everything. You got to go out there and just perform and sort of let some things take care of themselves, which is nice that I'm in that position where I have the team and the equipment to do so.
Cool. And is there anywhere that you've got your eye on, or is it still just you haven't really thought that much about it?
As far as specific places, man, I felt really good the second half of last year about pretty much everywhere. The super speedways are fast because everyone knows the Fords just kind of fly on those anyways. They're really good. Our 1.5 mile program got excellent. Cars were super fast. The short tracks were excellent. Road courses needed some work, but yeah, when we're that versatile as a team and we got to where we were fast in all the different places we were going to, really makes you extra excited about this year. So I'm not like circling off, Bristol or Martinsville. I'm like, yeah, we had pretty fast cars about everywhere. That's why, the last bit of the season you saw, we were getting tons of top 10s and at very random different racetracks, which is a great sign.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Luis Torres. Go ahead, Luis.
Thank you. Hopefully the phone doesn't ring when I ask this question, but
no kidding.
Yeah, earlier Keselowski was talking about winning being essential. They kind of mentioned it. How important is it on a contract year? You've been this game potentially strong. How important is it this day and age in this sport to get that win? More so when the 100th win for the team is on the line.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's yeah, I mean, you gotta win and perform. That's everything. But we've been so dang close to them now that it's painful. And that's a good sign, is that when you have that momentum, and then you're that close and you're in position as many times as we've been now. And then knowing that we're going into this season with the momentum that we have, I think we can do it much more consistently. If you keep putting yourself in position to get that win, that's when it has the ability to come. You're not always going to win every one of them that you're in position to win, but you have that opportunity. So excited about that. And also, from a more personal standpoint, I so badly want to get the 100th win for the Wood brothers because they are family. You know, anyone that knows the Woods, when you drive for them, you're friends with them. You're not friends, you're family to them. They are family, and I want it so bad for them and for the whole entire family. So that would be an amazing accomplishment there. But no, we got to go out there. And now that I know that we are ready as a team, I feel the last bit of last year and going in this year, I feel we are 100% ready to win. I'm honest with, early in the season last year, I did not feel like we were ready. We had a lot of things we had to work on, and you have to be perfect. Your team has to be excellent to win. So I did not feel like we were a winning team the beginning of last year because of, the circumstances. We had the people and the equipment, all the things, but we needed time, and we got that now. So going into this year, I think it's our time, and yeah, the goal is to win, to run up front, to compete all the way down the end, because I know we can do it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Deb Williams. Go ahead, Deb.
Thank you. Hey, Matt, how are you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Fine, thank you. In looking at the dirt track or the dirt race at Bristol, you've got something on your team that really no one else has, and that's Leonard Wood, who was actually around when the Cup cars raced dirt. Have you talked with him, and what benefit do you think he'll be for you and the team going to Bristol?
Man, the ingenuity and the support from the Wood brothers as a whole is and the stories and the advice that they can give in general, because they have been around the sport far longer than I've been alive, a lot longer than I've been alive, is always super useful. And not, it's useful in many different aspects. One, they're amazing stories that you just enjoy hearing. Two, the positivity and the support that you have from them, and then the experience that they have that they can pass along. So yeah, no, that's excellent. I'm looking forward to that Bristol dirt race for different reasons. One, because I grew up dirt racing, love it. Anytime I've hopped in a dirt car, it's still been like riding a bike, and it comes right back to me naturally, and I love it. So that part's fun. And then also super excited because the reaction from the fans and friends, even the amount of text messages and calls and comments I've gotten about the Bristol dirt race. You get ones a lot about Daytona 500 that's coming up. So I get tons of stuff about that, knowing our cars are fast at that. And then the Bristol dirt race has been another one where I've been like, man, that's amazing to see that kind of excitement for those couple of races. So
have you talked to Leonard any about it yet?
Not about that specifically. I actually talked to him recently about he built me an RC car, a nitro powered RC car, handmade, and it has a plaque on it, handcrafted by Leonard Wood. Though that's actually the last conversation that we had about was how much that meant to me. That was my Christmas gift. But with COVID and stuff, I haven't been able to actually go up there to their shop as much as I would like to, but we talk more about casual stuff. So, but I'm sure I'll get some good stories about that since Bristol Dirt's coming up. So that's on the agenda.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. We're going to take our next question from Kelvin with ROC Sports. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Thanks, Amanda. Hey, Matt. Welcome to 2021. Kind of starting off a little crazy here with your phone calls here, but that's nothing new. So just a question coming up on the scheduling aspect. You're not going out to your home state of California, but you do get to run the Busch Clash and then run on the road course. Is that kind of an advantage in a way, being able to run the Clash and then go to the road course? And does that kind of make up for not being able to go out home to California?
Yeah, obviously I'm sad that we don't get to run out there in Fontana, because that's it's a cool racetrack. Love that aspect of it. And, fans out there, great, all that. But, I could look at it both ways. I think it's an advantage, for us that we get that race at the Clash to, evaluate where we're at with our road course stuff. I'm excited about that. And then obviously having that race and all is extra laps and track time. But you can also look at it in a different fashion of, a lot of your field is in that race as well. And a lot of extremely competitive, good race cars. So they're getting that track time as well. So it's pretty much still a level playing field, but I'm excited about it for our team to have that, since I thought that was a point that we needed to work on a little bit last year, that we have that race to go out there and see where we're at.
And then you had a tweet go out during the Chili Bowl thinking you wanted to go out there and run that. Has that really come to fruition yet, or have you really just not really thought about it too much?
Oh yeah, I'm working on it pretty much as we speak. I've been in conversations already about maybe running a couple of races that work out with our schedule this year to get maybe 2 races under my belt or something like that, to get a little seat time in a midget. And knowing that our schedule is becoming more diverse, it's making me look into different things. So because our schedule has 7 road courses on it, we have a dirt race now. I'm looking at it like, oh man, I think I need to start exploring different opportunities to continue to hone my skills. I always want to be the best I can possibly be at what I'm doing. So I'm going to try and get a couple of races in. Stay tuned. There might be more info on that here pretty soon. Hopefully, I'm working on it. I don't know the details yet, but looking to work on that to hopefully get a couple races, then run the Chili Bowl. I've always wanted to. I grew up dirt racing. Larson's told me to do it and work on it. So I'm like, all right, now I think's the time. We have a dirt race on the schedule. I want to keep honing my skills, get better at everything. And then we got a lot of road courses on the schedule. So I'm looking at ways to try and get more track time on road courses and different kinds of cars, things like that. So it's pretty exciting that the schedule is becoming so cool and diverse.
Thanks, Matt. Good luck.
Thanks, Kelvin.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for hanging with us during the phone calls. And we wish you the best of luck in Speed Weeks.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks. And sorry for the 550 phone calls. I'm going to work on that for next time.
All right. Thanks, Matt.